Hello, I'm recording this video as a computer security course. My name is Ibrahim Eden. My instructor name is Professor Jennifer Grant. This video is solely for educational purpose, and I'm not liable for any damage that could cause the use in this demonstration. Today, I will be talking about uh, ransom ransomware. Have you ever would you ever wake up and turn on your computer and see that all your files are locked with a message demanding that you have to pay a 5,000 of ransomware? Did you ever encounter that? So today I will be sharing with you some of the things that you can do to protect your data and your computer, to prevent ransomware, and what you should do if your computer is infected by a ransomware. So I will be discussing that today. So stay with me here. Let me open the slides. So like I said, I will explain how ransomware attacks work, how they target, and how to protect yourself and your data from ransomware. So the first thing that comes to your mind and that we need to talk about is how is ransomware delivered into your PC. That is a very crucial thing that we need to know, since this starts from where the problem starts from if it encounters your computer. So there are a few common ways they use, but two of the main things that are main things of those things are phishing emails. Phishing emails. What does that mean? The ransomware cyber criminals, they will send you an email impersonating that this email is from a legitimate person that you have known, or a corporation, a legitimate corporation. So that is the email that you or the victim will receive, and that this email contains attachments and the links. Without clicking the attachments or the links, there is no way, or there's no anything that they can do to your computer. So uh, that's the trick is uh, figuring out whether this email came from a legitimate corporation or a person. So what they do is they will entice attachments in their email and the links, so that that is the way they attract or trick the users to click their attachment by impersonating a legitimate person. So phishing email, that's what does it mean, phishing email? Once the person clicks that email, the attachment of that emails, there is something called a drive-by Windows, and that is a virus that will automatically install in your computer without your consent and then acknowledge. So, and that only happens after you click the phishing emails, the phishing email attachments or links. So be careful for that. Do not ever click any link or open any attachments if you are not sure if this email is sent by a legitimate person or a corporation. Now, we want to talk about how does ransom work. Ransom identifies, as I said, the drive files, and that drive file is where they try to when it's they access to your computer, that is where they try to control and encrypt all of your files. And the only thing they will, once they completely control your computer, they will have leave a file, and that is a file of instruction that guides the victim how to pay the ransom money. So some of the what are the symptoms? What are the symptoms that can show you that your computer or your files were breached? So they usually add extension to the files, and some of those extensions names are, for example, they are like after the file name, there is .aa, dot encrypted, dot xyz, and many more are extensions to those files. So after that, they will try to, there is something that is called a skyware, and the skyware is a virus that going to threat and intimidate the victim, pushing them to pay a ransom by showing them a fake problems. And that is also part of a ransomware. So ransomware, as I said, is a malware threat that actors are used to infect computers and encrypted files. And those files, they will try to persuade you that you can only be able to access those files after you pay the ransom. But most of the time, what happens is, even though you pay the ransom, there's no guarantee that they will give you the decryption key, so that way you will be able to access your files again. No, that most likely that's not going to happen. So that is why the government does not recommend the victims to pay a ransom at all. But the thing is, then usually they also intimidate the victims by telling them that they will link in their files on online, their data on online, or they will destroy their data completely. But some of the things that you can do to decrypt those files is there is a website called that is called nomoreransom.org that will help you to decrypt it. And those files, those were encrypted by ransomware. So that is that. That is one of the things that you can tackle with the ransomware files. Files they have encrypted. Another thing is how to protect your data. In order to be able to prevent what is called vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities is to back up your data frequently. You must make sure that your data is backed up also into iCloud or local files to have backup data that is outside of this one. For at least that way, if they lock these files, you should be able to have those files. Those are safe for you. The other thing that you can do is storing your data or files in iCloud or in a local files that are different. The third thing is to train your employee. If this is organization, if you are an organization, you need to train your staff to make sure they are aware of this, the tricks and the strategies, those ransomware viruses they use to get access into their computer. So that is a very, very crucial and important for organization to make sure that their employee is aware of, and all of these tricks that this ransomware use, and they also have the most developed and sophisticated technology to tackle this problem. How to prevent it? To be able to prevent is also one of them is to scan your backup, your data frequently. perform scan your backup frequently, so that way, if they infected, if the virus infecting your computer, you can back up to the last backup that you have did. You can go back to that step and be able to uh, prevent this infected from your computer. Update antivirus regularly. You have to have a virus antivirus, the latest antivirus in your computer system, and make sure that they are up to date so that you can be able to prevent them. The other thing you can use also, use a very, very strong computer as password, a robust password, and that must be at least for 8 characters, which are different, and they should not be a common thinking that they can guess using a hash to hash, what's called a hash. And that's if your password name is something that is common, it will be easier for them to guess and to be able to access to your computer. So make sure that you have a very strong password, and also use a multi-factor authentication whenever it is possible. That multi two-factor authentication could be your password that was strong, and your phone number or another email. That way, if they were able to uh, comprehend your password, they won't be able to have access to your phone because they won't be able to. So that way they won't get the code, and there's no way for them to be able to access into your system, even though they have your password. And that is that. The other thing is make sure that the site that you are visiting is secure and have the certificate that's called HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol System. That shows that if the site does not have a HTTPS, that means that site is not a secure site. So you gotta be aware of that and avoid visiting those sites. Yeah, and as I have mentioned before, links, attachments, and installments are all the things that you need to be suspicious and be aware of always. If you receive an email that tells you to download or create attachments, do not do it. Do not do it. That most likely is going to be a scammer, unless they have a legitimate unless it is a legitimate email from someone that you know. So you gotta figure out uh, if this email of this that tells you to download something came from a legitimate person or organization. Uh, what to do if your computer gets affected? If your computer gets affected, what do you need to do? If you work at the organization, you need to make sure that to contact uh, the Department of Cybersecurity team as soon as possible. Let them know that the accident that happened, so that way they can do their part to make sure the computer is safe and deal with the ransomware by themselves. Also, you can connect to the FBI. They will be able to help you uh, tackle and solve the problems from their side. They also have a department that deals with this, so make sure to share with them as well. After the ransomware is removed from your system, you need to make sure to change all the passwords. All the passwords must be changed immediately. Do not try to use the same password that you used before the ransom infected your computer, because that password is already it is in the hands of the ransomware cyber attack criminals. So that is that. If we look at this chart, that shows how rapidly the how rapidly ransomware attacks is increasing each year, each year. So you can look at, if you look at it here, you can see the first quarter of 2021 incidents was only 41. And you can see that each year after 2021, it was more than double or tripling the incidents that is coming from ransomware attacks. This year, you can see that that's the worst year. That's the worst, the worst year for ransomware attacks that people, victims, their computer were infected. You can see that there is already 278 incidents that was reported only this year. So you can guess, maybe the next year, who knows? There will be 1,000 more. So that is that. In conclusion, there is always a saying in health. There is also a saying that says prevention is better than cure. In cybersecurity, it is always better for computers and for users and organizations to prevent. It's always it is always cheaper than, let's say that. It's always cheaper than to cure the problem, the ransomware problem. Then it is always, let me rephrase that. It's always cheaper to cure than it's always, prevention is always cheaper than to cure. Yes, let me say that. Prevention is always cheaper than to cure. So that means if you need to make sure that all of your preventions are on the table for you always. You need to back up your computer. You need to have the latest antivirus that is update, and backup is always what you do. Keep your files and the data on a cloud or a local somewhere else. Have a backup files, always have a backup files. That is a very, very important too. And finally, stay safe on online. There's so many things that is going on, so make sure you are aware of and using all the things that I have talked about this, and always also make sure that you are updated and know the latest steps that you can do to prevent ransomware and make sure there's no vulnerabilities. And the last very important thing that I'm gonna say is always learning from your faults, learning from the attacks after, because improving your defense is always crucial for you. So when it's the computer or the infected happiness, whether it's you or what is you read from somewhere, make sure that you learn that and improve your defenses to prevent ransomware attacks. Have a good